Think you've seen all the JRPGs worth playing in 2025? Think again. There's a treasure trove of underrated games hiding in plain sight, and your backlog is about to get dangerously stacked. Stick around because by the end, your gaming nights are officially booked. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's jump into the hidden gems you've been missing. First up, Stella Dios. This is one of those games you probably heard once, forgot existed, and now you're wondering how you skipped it. If you're into tactical JRPGs that actually make you think, this one pulls you in fast. You're thrown into a world choking under a deadly mist, and the whole story asks how far people will go to survive. It's not just fantasy drama, it digs into belief, desperation, and the ugly choices people make when time runs out. Combat feels sharp. You stack skills, use alchemy to upgrade gear, and play around with positioning to get the upper hand. Enemies hit hard, so you can't sleepwalk through battles. What makes it shine is how every party member has something going on. Nobody feels like filler. And yeah, the graphics look like a PS2 game, but the art direction and soundtrack age way better than you'd expect. If you loved Final Fantasy Tactics or Tactics Ogre, you'll vibe with this immediately. It's a slow burn at first, but once it clicks, it hits way harder than most people remember. Next up, Grandia III. This game is the definition of amazing combat trapped inside a game people gave up on too early. And that's why it's perfect for an underrated list. The combat system is wild, real-time movement blended with turn-based timing. You can interrupt enemies mid-attack, bait them into wasting turns, and set up chain hits that never get old. It's flashy, fast, and way ahead of its time. The story starts strong, dips in the middle, and then picks up again if you stick with it. But the characters you meet along the way are fun, and the world has that warm, colorful Grandia energy. The exploration feels light but pleasant. Towns act as hubs, and dungeons pack puzzles and secrets that reward you for poking around. Mana eggs add a whole customization layer, letting you tweak spells and rolls without locking yourself in too early. People love to dunk on Grandia III because of its story choices, but the gameplay alone makes it worth revisiting. If you want something that feels classic but still punchy in 2025, this is a great pick. Then we have Muramasa. This game is stylish from the second you start it. Every frame looks hand-painted, like a living watercolor of Japanese folklore. You follow two lead characters, Kisuke and Momohime, each with their own path through a supernatural version of Edo, Japan. The vibe is heavy on yokai, haunted forests, ancient swords, and twisted spirits. Combat moves fast and feels smooth. You dash, juggle enemies in midair, and switch between crafted swords with different effects. Bosses look incredible and hit harder than you'd expect, so you actually need to learn patterns instead of button mashing. The sword forging system keeps you grinding materials because unlocking new blades feels rewarding every single time. The only knock is the backtracking. The map makes you hop around more than you want to. But honestly, the art style and combat make it easier to forgive. If you like Vanillaware's signature look, think Dragon's Crown or Odin's Sphere. Muramasa might end up being your favorite of the bunch. It's fast, gorgeous, and way more fun than people give it credit for. Next, Dragon's Crown. This game hits different if you like beat-em-ups but want a deeper JRPG layer. You pick one of 6 classes with their own strengths, and each one changes how you play. The fighter tanks, the sorceress keeps everyone alive, the wizard melts rooms, and the elf moves like she's speedrunning the whole game. The combat shines the more you level up, skills stack into big combos, spells have weight, and boss fights push you to stay sharp. Loot drops feel addictive. That one more run energy kicks in fast. And once you jump into multiplayer, the game suddenly feels twice as fun. The story doesn't try too hard. It's more of a backdrop for dungeon runs. But the world has that Vanillaware art style that looks like a fantasy painting. Every dungeon, every enemy, every animated swing looks handcrafted. If you want a JRPG that's easy to pick up but hard to put down, this one deserves another shot. It aged surprisingly well, and the gameplay loop still holds up today. Next up, Fae Tactics. This is the indie SRPG nobody saw coming, but everyone who tries it ends up hooked. You follow Peony, a summoner, as she gets dragged into a messy conflict between humans and Fae. The story keeps things simple but meaningful, and the characters feel warm and grounded. Combat is where the game pops off. You don't deal with menus during fights. Everything happens directly on the grid. Summons act like extra party members, elemental reactions matter, and boss fights force you to use your whole toolkit. You can't brute force your way through maps, which makes every win feel earned. Side quests aren't filler. They give good rewards, new summons, and legit challenge spikes. The map design stays fresh, mixing tight encounters with wide-open maps that push you to rethink your strategy. If you want something with depth, but without the usual slow, heavy SRPG pacing, this game hits the sweet spot. It's charming, underrated, and one of the strongest indie tactical JRPGs out there. Then we have Saga Scarlet Grace. This game does its own thing, and that's why a lot of people missed it. But if you give it a chance, it sinks its hooks in fast. The game centers on 4 protagonists with stories that shift depending on your choices. Side quests change how future events play out, and your run won't look the same as someone else's. The battle system is a standout. Everything revolves around the timeline, so controlling when enemies act becomes the whole strategy. You set up combos, disrupt enemy turns, and build momentum for huge finishers. It's lightweight but deep, making battles feel quick without losing complexity. Exploration is simple but effective. You move across a map and pick events instead of running through traditional towns and dungeons. It keeps the pacing tight and avoids padding. The painterly art and strong music help give everything personality. It's a bold JRPG that rewards players who want something fresh instead of formulaic. If you skipped it the first time, now's the moment to catch up. Up next, Baten Kaitos. This game is returning in HD as one of the best things that happened to JRPG fans who love strategy mixed with storytelling. Both games use a card-based battle system that feels more tactical than gimmicky. You chain combos based on numbers, elements, and timing, and fights stay exciting all the way through. The stories in both games go harder than you expect. There's betrayal, plot twists, political drama, and characters that actually grow. The pre-rendered backgrounds look clean in the remaster, and the updated quality of life tweaks make the games way easier to play today. Exploration is full of puzzles, hidden routes, and side quests that are worth doing. The remaster smooths out rough edges, updates controls, and improves the pacing without changing what made the original special. If you want story-heavy JRPGs with mechanics that feel different from the usual turn-based setup, Baten Kaitos should be on your list. It's dramatic, stylish, and a perfect pick for fans who want something off the mainstream radar. Next, Scarlet Nexus. The game blends fast action with a sci-fi twist that feels both anime and modern. You choose between Guido or Kassane, and each gives you a different take on the story. The world has this strange, unsettling vibe thanks to the others, monsters that look like nightmares stitched together. Combat is the highlight. You throw objects with psychokinesis, chain them into sword hits, and tap into squad powers for elemental effects or time manipulation. It feels slick, responsive, and way more fun than it looks in trailers. The upgrade paths let you build your character however you like. The story goes deeper than you'd expect, touching on brain manipulation, government secrets, and friendships under pressure. The cast grows on you fast, especially when you unlock Bond episodes that expand their personalities. This game didn't get the huge hype it deserved, but in 2025, it still hits hard. If you want action JRPGs that keep you awake, this one's worth your time. Next, Etrian Odyssey. This game is the series you go to if you want real dungeon crawling challenge. You build your party from scratch, map out labyrinth floors by hand, and push deeper while managing supplies and enemy encounters. It sounds simple, but the difficulty and planning pull you in fast. Each class feels unique and pushes you to experiment. You can build offensive teams, defensive walls, or weird synergy setups that only work if you think ahead. Fights hit hard, but beating tough enemies feels satisfying because you earned it through smart planning. Every entry brings new ideas, subclasses, new maps, reworked skills, and remixed bosses. The Switch remasters make everything smoother with updated art and quality of life upgrades. If you love strategy and dungeon exploration, this series is an endless pit of content. It's sometimes overlooked because it's not flashy, but the gameplay loop is incredibly addictive. Finally, we have Dark Deity 2. This is the kind of indie SRPG that surprises you fast. It builds on what the first game did well and adds more personality, tighter combat, and better storytelling. You get grid-based battles that hit hard, character abilities that matter, and a roster that feels alive thanks to great writing and voice acting. Every decision feels like it counts. You're always adjusting your team, swapping weapons, and figuring out how to handle dangerous enemy formations. It never feels cheap, just challenging enough to keep you engaged. The story hits emotional beats without dragging. The character relationships grow naturally, and the voice work gives them weight. If you want an SRPG that feels classic but polished with modern touches, this is a top pick. It's one of the best underrated JRPG experiences in 2025, and absolutely worth your time. That's a wrap. Your next backlog is officially stacked. Got other underrated JRPGs you think everyone's sleeping on? Drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another hidden gem. Thanks for watching, and keep gaming smart. Peace.